Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a replay analysis. We got Jer1413 from clan RR13 in his Hellcat on Himmel's Prockdorf. TD, running a rammer. He's got the low noise exhaust and he's got optics. That is an interesting setup for a Hellcat. I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know about the low noise, but you know, you want to be stealthy in a Hellcat. We'll take a look at how this goes. He asked a question how this could have been a win. So let's take a look at it. In fact, I haven't seen it, so we're just going to roll with it as we go here. By the way, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support of the channel, as always, guys. I try to get to every video that you guys send me or every replay. I can't obviously do that, only cranking out to 5 a week, sometimes a few more with the quick tactics, all that good stuff. But please keep them coming. I hit as many of them as I can for sure. And if I've promised you one in the past and it slipped through the cracks, please keep sending them. I will do as many, obviously, of these things as I can. I feel bad because I know sometimes I've said I'll knock something out, and then we have a patch come up, or maybe it just, I'm a one-man show, right? So I'm busier than the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. I will continue to try to kick the rears, but there you go. That's my excuse. It's not a good one, but it's the one I've got. Also, a lot of you guys have sent me, several of you guys have sent me some really nice coffee, and I kind of got away from the percolating of the coffeelation. And recently I've started percolating the coffeelation one more time, and holy cow, this one is a good one. This is the Orange County stuff. It's good. Very good. Cranking through that bag of that. I've got a couple other bags in there as well. It just gets so easy to toss the old. That could go somewhere very badly. That could go somewhere very bad. It's easy to throw the Keurig cup into the Keurig, but that coffee is much, much better. All right, so we're going to head up to the hill, it looks like, with the Hellcat. I think you have two choices, obviously, on this map with a Hellcat. You're either going to go 1-2 column, or you can go up the hill. You're probably going to work this bush, because this tank does not have, although it's got good gun depression, doesn't really have a turret, and you probably don't want to be going up here and poking up and over this edge, although we are going to come out into the open here. Very interesting. All right. Man, I got to tell you, Jared, that's just asking to get shot by someone who's fast. Not really sure why you didn't go up into the bush there, to be honest. We are 2 marked, though. I just noticed that, so very nice. Jared's been doing some work with his Hellcat. Now, this is the Tier 6 Hellcat, not the Super Hellcat. So a bunch of his buddies are pushing in. This is a relatively low-tier battle, mid-tier, we'll call it, at Tier 6. Again, I'm surprised you did not get lit right there. Man, they came up maybe just not enough. So your team's pushing hard. I like this support position. Watch the 5-6 line for shots. Everything seems relatively copacetic. You have lost a scout. He sort of lost his mind and went in there. I don't see anything real ugly so far. We got the MT-25. We're getting a little bit of that replay stutter action going on, even though you're showing a good ping. You see that sometimes on replays. The enemy team's got a good crowd there on the 0 column. It looks like your team's doing a lot of poking and prodding. Looking for the MT-25. A little bit, yeah, I was just about to say I was concerned about the 1-2 line pushing forward without much of a scout right there. Down goes the KV-2, so he eats it. They're really far forward for heavies this early in the battle. The AMD is up front, but he's not doing much. So now you got to start thinking, all right, hold what we got. It's not a bad situation yet. I don't like what's going on here necessarily. We lost our scout. That's not good. We have one more, the 2801, but where is he? Right in front of us? Or no, he's on the cap, so that's no good. He's on the cap because I think he's AFK. Yes, he is. So there you go. But you got to deal with the situation you're given. Their AMD pushes into the town. Let's get a nice shot. Maybe not quite enough lead fire on that one. Unfortunate, though, we bounce off the guy. Crazy. Their MT-25 is there. And now we're starting to lose tanks. There we go. Let's just take a look at this for a second because, all right, we're not quite out from behind the bush. This should be a unspotted shot. There we go. So double bushed. You do have to be careful with guys a little bit closer. Yeah, let's hit this guy. There you go. There you go. Back out, little courtesy, back out. Maybe we can sneak one on him. Doesn't matter. So nice little job on the hill of evening things up. So now it's time to start seeing if potentially we can take advantage of the hill, leverage that, and start moving up a little bit. You might, there we go, all right. Not a bad idea. The MD is a problem. We do want to get rid of him. We also don't want to be, already goes in there. We don't want to expose ourselves too much here to return fire because the Hellcat just disintegrates very quickly. There we go, we found that guy running around. Oh, a buggy, hold on. All right, so we lit a buggy. One thing I will do, guys, is it's a cross-check. Obviously, he's looking at the AMD. When I saw the little indicator come up underneath the screen over here, or at the bottom of the screen, it said buggy. That's something we hadn't seen yet. So at that point, I'll open up my aperture or pull back a little bit, look at the mini-map and go, wait a minute, what do I got over here? So let's find out. What do we have over here? Oh, Mr. Buggy. Mr. Buggy is shottable, right? So all of those little pieces of SA, we take a stab at him. Is the Buggy still shottable? He's probably backed down. Yeah, so he's backing down now. All right. So missed opportunity on the Buggy right there. Be careful about spending too much time on guys that are either really difficult to hit or you know you're going to have a hard time hitting, I guess, or potentially he has to come out from behind a bunch of cover and stuff. So I think we spent a lot of extra time on AMD. It's easy to get stuck. There we go. So maybe he'll prove me wrong and kill him. What? You stuck? Okay. Well, there you go. Jer, that was an absolute genius move. The perfect move for the situation. Yeah, there you go. Nice. All right. So this is actually looking good right now. If we consider, and this is a video, how could I have made a win out of this? Right now, I think everyone would say, all right, we're looking okay. Looks like we're down some hit points, but you don't really know what's going over on the 1-2 column over there. Your guys are kind of pushing in, but we're really winning the east side. So let's see how he leverages that. Buggy's kind of hanging out in the middle, and we're pushing in. Now, ask yourself, guys, and this is something we've talked a lot about. Are we really winning so much that we want to come around behind them? There's a couple guys doing that already. Is Jer going to flow back to the middle? Looks like he's going to flow back to the middle. A little bit dangerous because there are guys in the middle, but if he can get in here and get rid of this Buggy. I'm a little bit concerned, though, if you poke here, you are going to be absolutely exposed to some withering fire from the other direction. All right, we got it done. We did eat a shot from the JPZ. That JPZ may have actually been shooting at your 2801. So we back out. Okay. Now we're thinking about how we get a shot on these guys. I think you've got that bush covering you. So cruise on up there, man. I think I would have absolutely gone up and seen if I could get a shot on the KV-2 right there. Looks like we're going to flow back this way. And that side of the map does need your help. Oof, be careful with that. See how you're high on the terrain right there? Yep, we got lit. So now we can't really back in there. The KV-2 does die, so that's all right. And I think you're right, flowing back to the west side of the map, but it looks like we're going to stick to the middle a bit. Problem with what you're doing right here is the MT-25 is going to spot you, and this is exposing yourself to a bunch of guys, especially if they're higher upper here. I would come at this MT-25 much lower, try to sneak up in there and see if we couldn't get a few sneaky shots, 1 or 2 on him. And now is when we got to really start thinking about whether we want to go to the 1-2 line. We have a near-dead Basoto, a Bretagne, and a Hummel. You're going to be the eyes. Your guys are unfortunately sort of walking into them. Alright, this guy's making a runner. Can kill him. Oh, that just sucked. That sucked. There you go. Alright, and geez, just guys died right and left. So your whole push, and this is really predictable. This is really predictable. This push over the north part of the tracks right here, that's what happens to it when there's no pressure here on the 1-2 column, or not enough. So they own this whole corner. This is a really defensible corner. Most maps, you get a team stuck in the corner, they're in trouble. But if it's an even game like this, this one doesn't matter quite as much. You'd rather not be, but you have so much vision sitting in this corner up here. So many places to hide. You can easily spot these clowns coming over the tracks. The only safe place is in this little dip, and even that's not great. So they just didn't have the support from the guys here on the 1-2 column to keep pushing, and they all just got shredded trying to push in. That's why I sort of think hard if I'm going to go. If I win that hill, I think really hard before I go up to the north and try to flow across. If the 1-2 column is winning handily, then I'll think about it. But I'll be very cautious about it. If it's a situation like this, I do not cross over there and just let them farm me as I try to push in. All right, so we do have the, oof, I think that's a blind shot. That is a bummer. Yeah, boy, there's nothing you can do about that. That guy's just shooting down the row. Maybe the Brittain was seen or something goofy like that, but I think you just got lucky there. Not a lot you can do about that. Let's think about this for a minute, though, as a Hellcat. We have the optics. Okay, that's fine. I think maybe we're thinking we're the spotting eyes. I guess that's okay, too. But this is such a soft tank, and there's an artillery and a bunch of TDs and yada, yada. This is not really a survivable situation. I don't know if you're going to outspot. We'll see what happens. I don't think you're going to outspot something enough. Also, the other thing I don't like about this is you're in the way. If they start to see these guys, then the shots are going through you. So let's see how this goes down. I think I try to be a little more clever with my Hellcat and maybe get a little further back. You could also start typing, hey, Su-100, fall back. Come back to the middle maybe, about where the Su-8 is. Oh, there's an artillery back there, so we know that. So he saw somebody. Or maybe he was trying to counter the Hummel. It could have been a counter on the Hummel, potentially. There goes a shot in. Yeah, be very careful with that kind of thing. You are double bushed, or you're 15 back for that bush, but who knows where somebody else might be. Okay, there's a Cromwell in the middle. You're going to get tempted to scooch forward on him. Looks like that's what you're doing, maybe. Got to be careful on this middle road right here, because look at the corner. So right now, this bush line right here is covering you, but if you come right, then there's a view all the way down this road. And that's what you're going to have to do to get up there and shoot the Crommy. So Cromwell's pushing into the Sioux. Looks like a little blind fire. That was behind him anyway. You got to put that gun line in front of him if you're going to do that. And you don't have a lot of ammo to do that, do you? Yeah, we're sitting at 5, 8, and 4. All right, so that would clinch it for me. I'm out of here. Okay, the Cromwell beat your guy that was hanging out on the north part of the crossing. The Cromwell's going to come around. He's going to eat up the Su-8. And then you're going to be flanked. This is just not a sustainable position. I would fall back. It looks like you want to try to get aggressive. If you're going to do that, I guess now's the time-ish. But look at the Brittain is falling back, and you only have the Basoto back there. You won't last more than 2 hits based on the guys that are in front of you. There we go. We found one of them. Excalibur. Surprised he shot. I wonder if he was shooting at the Basoto. Oh, and then there he is. Just finds you right in front of you. This is what I was worried about. And why is this guy doing that? Because he knows your 100 just died. Cromwell's coming around here. He has a bunch of friends back here, right? So only your Cromwell's not here, so that leaves... There's 4 of them on this line. So he comes in there with 4 guys backing him up. You've only got 2 guys backing you up. You know what I mean? He comes raging in here. He can sense that it's starting to collapse. And he's only happy that the first guy he found was the freaking Hellcat and not the Brittain, who at least has some armor right there. I think my answer to you on could it have been a win, I think it could have. It was pretty even. I would not have been this far forward, or at least not this far forward to where I kept pushing. Fall back here. Get a couple of you getting vision. There's a bush line. I want to say it's back right about here where you can get into these bushes and catch guys coming. Maybe this one here as well. The problem with this one is if you don't see them come in the bowl and they come up and over and see you, you're kind of screwed. So I would tend to fall a little bit further back into this corner right here. Might have been able to turn it into a win there if they make a foolish move. Your Brittain was kind of out of the fight. You guys were really strung out along that road, so that was going to be really hard. I liked the initial position, did a nice job there. I liked that you went to the middle. I think you had an opportunity on the KV2. I would not have gone across the middle. It didn't cost you, but I would have fallen down into the lower area. Good job trying to help get rid of the MT there. Eventually your guys do. I like the initial move into the bush to kind of take a look and see if you can do something. Once your north push failed, I'd have fallen back, got into the defensive position back there with your guns a little bit more tight in there, potentially with you a little further forward because of your binoculars, but because of the bushes, the binoculars aren't going to help, and it's going to be one of these proxy light things probably. So whatever's charging through the bushes, unless for some reason they break into the open early, if they're just coming down the bushes, it's going to be a mutual spotting. So try to go someplace that you can maybe pick them up before it's a mutual spotting, and that's when I start talking about maybe flowing out to the wing right here a little bit, or at least in this bush area right here, so that you're not just in the line and it's like, oh hey, boom, and both of you are spotted. That's what I got, man. If anybody else has got anything else, chuck it down there in the comments. That's all for today. Thanks for coming, guys. See ya. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay.